when it comes to creating story through artwork and designing a fantasy character. Hey, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I draw or paint fantasy creatures. How to design compelling fantasy characters. So there are some techniques to use when considering designing a fantasy character or a fantasy creature that will help make the character more memorable and more believable. It doesn't matter on your skill level, how many years you've been drawing or painting or creating, as long as you incorporate some of these techniques. Designing and creating fantasy characters involves using your imagination. It involves storytelling and specific visual elements to really bring your character to life and to create a unique character. A lot of these skills are helpful in creating horror artwork and similar dark, more mysterious artwork. You're more than just drawing, you are creating a story. You're communicating a story through your character. You really want to bring them to life, and you do that through story. This doesn't mean that you use words or actually have a written story or paragraph along with your character. It can all be done through visual elements. But the very first thing is to start with an idea, start with a clear concept, and really develop your idea before you even start designing or drawing. What is this character's story? Who is this character? What do they want? Where do they come from? What are their likes, their dislikes? Their personality? What is their motivation? What are they trying to get or achieve? You really want to think about the role that they are going to play through your artwork or through the story that you are telling. You can look to mythology and other cultures through stories from cultures for inspiration or ideas, lots of folklore or even just nature, animals, astrology, or borrow from other fantasy worlds that have already been created. These are all places that I get inspiration from and that I feel really work well with fantasy, especially nature. Once you have your character's backstory, you know who they are, and you have a story that you want to tell with your character, even if it's something as simple as my fantasy creature is foraging in the forest for food. That's a story that I want to convey through my art. Once you have that story, it's time to start sketching. While you sketch, you are also brainstorming. Maybe you don't really know exactly what your character looks like yet, so just start sketching different body parts or sketching elements from those themes that you drew inspiration from, different animals, different elements of nature. See what evolves from your sketches. As I sketch, I usually start to develop more of my character's backstory. Maybe their identity or even their name, what kind of skills or abilities they may have. I develop kind of their backstory, where they came from, what brought them here, their powers, their abilities, and how those powers and abilities may influence their personality, and whatever other ideas come about while I'm sketching or looking at pictures for inspiration. When it comes to physical appearance, you can think of things like species or race. Are they part human? Are they mythical creature? Are they a hybrid of two different animals or two different mythical creatures, or a human and an animal? It's also really helpful to have some distinct features, something that is really different that can really make your character stand out. Even unusual clothing or accessories that they may be wearing. And I also like to start to think about the color palette. Usually dark art, horror, or dark fantasy sticks with a more limited color palette, but if you're going more whimsical fantasy, maybe there are more bright colors and you have a wider color palette. What colors do you want your character to be, and what colors is the environment or the background that your character is in? Using things like dark shades for more mystery and more vibrant colors for magic. Proportion and scale is also really important. Think about how the character's physique is shown. How can you reflect their personality through their posture or the way they are moving their body? You definitely want your character to be moving, to not be static or still. You want them to tell a story through how they are moving their body. What are they doing with their body, and what does this convey to whoever is looking at the artwork? Consider their facial features. What are their eyes, mouth telling you? Color and lighting is very important. Light and shadow. With highlights, what do you want to highlight? What do you want to show? What do you want to make sure that the viewer sees? With lighting and shadows and highlights, you can really create dramatic effects. And finally, placing your character in an environment or in a setting really adds to the storytelling element and really brings them to life. How are they interacting with the environment, and what is around them? What scenario are you placing them in? hope this video was helpful, and if you have any other tips or techniques when it comes to creating story through artwork and designing a fantasy character, please let me know in the comments. We're always learning more. But for now, please like and subscribe for similar videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.